In this video, we are going to discuss how to create a basic structure of the different parts of the bot, including the head, the torso, and the leg. We'll start by creating a sketch profile for all the parts, and then step by step, we would be using these sketch profiles to create the required solid parts. So let's start. So first we'll focus on creating a sketch as we discussed. So I click on this create sketch button and then I select the sketch plane. On selecting the sketch plane, we will enter the sketch mode. In the sketch palette, you will have the option to toggle the visibility of the sketch grid. I will keep it off and I will start by creating a rectangular shape sketch profile for the head. So I'll start with this point, the first point which I will place at the origin. I will click over here and then I will simply extend this rectangle and place the second point. Right now, I will not be specifying the dimensions of the different sketch profiles. I will first create the entire sketch with the right proportions in mind. And once all the solid parts are ready, then we will work on the dimensions. So I'll complete the sketch profile for the head. Now, in the same sketch, I would be creating the sketch profile for the torso. To create the sketch profile for the torso, first I'm going to create a center line for the entire pod using the line tool. And whenever we are creating any sketch entity, we have the option to create a construction line. So the construction lines which we will create will not be part of the sketch. They will just act as reference lines. So to create this center line, I will first locate the center of the bottom edge. I will click and I will create a vertical line like this. And as I'm creating this line, I will try to figure out what would be the height of the bot. So I will keep it till this point and I will press left click to complete. Now to get out of the line tool or any sketch tool which you are using, you can either click on this check mark or you can use the escape key. Now we'll start creating the profile for the torso. For the torso, I will use a line tool and I will first create a straight line. To use the line tool, keep in mind don't drag as you create the line. You just need to click at the various endpoints. And also now as I'm creating the sketch profile for the torso, I will disable the option of construction line. So I'll create a straight line like this. I will place the second point. Now for the next point, I will keep it slightly inclined and I will click again. I will press the escape key to let go of the line tool. And now I'm going to select both these sketch entities and I will use this option to create a mirror image of these sketch lines on the other side using this mirror line as a reference. And now I can use the line tool to join these points, complete the sketch for the torso. So now we are having one closed sketch profile with which we can extrude to create the solid part. Now to make the sketch profile for the leg, all what we have to do is we have to use the rectangle tool and I will only create the sketch profile for the half of the leg. We will see later why we are only creating it for half of the leg. So let's start. So I will start with the rectangle tool, and also at this point I will keep some gap between the different parts. So I will start by creating the topmost part of the leg, and I will just draw a small rectangle like this. So while you're creating the different shapes in the sketch mode, you have the option to toggle the visibility of the constraints as well if you want. Now I will again use a rectangle tool and I will create a smaller rectangle with smaller width and slightly longer in height. So this would be the upper part of the leg. And now I will create the lower part of the leg. I will start from this end and I will create a lower part like this. Now in the remaining area, I am going to draw another rectangle for the foot. And for the foot, I will keep the width slightly more than the previous rectangle. And also I will just try to avoid touching this mirrored line as I'm creating the foot like this. And now I can press the escape key to get out of this tool. Also, I will select all these sketch entities and I will move them slightly away from the mirror line which we are seeing at the center. Slightly move them like this. And now I am having a bit more space to increase the slightly increase the width of the foot like this. Now for the bottommost part of the leg, which is the foot, for this particular part, I will not keep this sketch profile into half. I will complete the sketch profile on the other side using the mirror option. So I will use the mirror tool. And first I'm going to select the sketch entities which I want to mirror. So that would be these three sketch lines. And then I will specify the mirror line and I will complete the sketch like this. So now the sketch profile for the entire body is kind of ready. I can click on finish sketch to get out of the sketch mode. And now I will start using these different sketch profiles to create the solid parts. So I'll start by extruding the sketch profile for the head and the torso. So I'll select these profiles and I will press E for the extrude tool. And to extrude, I'm going to use the direction as metric. What this will do, this will allow you to extrude the sketch profile from the center equally in both the directions. So I'm going to extrude it by 25 mm. So we'll get an overall thickness of 50 mm on the on both these pieces, as we can see. Now let's so when you will extrude these pieces, you might notice the sketch is gone. So you can unhide the sketch. And now let's work on the leg. So to make the leg, first I'm going to create the part of the leg excluding the foot. So for that I'm going to select these three sketch profiles. Now we want to have like a round shape on this part of the foot. So instead of using the extrude command, I will be using, let's do it again. I will be using the revolve command. So after selecting these sketch profiles, you need to specify the axis and this axis would be this line. And I can click on OK, done. Now I will extrude the foot. So to extrude the foot, you select both these sketch profiles and let's use extrude command. And this time I will be using the option two sides. This will allow me to extrude the sketch profile in both the directions, and in both the direction I will have the option to specify different values. So I will extrude it like this by 40 mm or so, and on the other side maybe I will extrude it by 15 or 20 mm and click on OK. So now we can see the basic structure of the different parts of the board is now ready.